Following the 2007 election with no mandate, then Prime Minister Kevin Rudd massively increased migration under what he called a Big Australia policy. Prime Minister Rudd appointed the now Immigration Minister as the Minister for Population to help deliver his Big Australia policy. Acting Prime Minister, is net overseas migration currently higher or lower than under Kevin Rudd's Big Australia policy?
Call to the order. The Minister for Social Services is warned. No one is to interject before a minister begins their answer. The Leader of the House has the call.
Thanks, Mr Speaker. I rarely thank shadow ministers for their questions, but I'm really grateful for that one. I am really grateful for that one. Because I'm asked that on the exact day that those opposite commit publicly that they are going to vote to push net oversized migration higher. That's a decision that they've made today. Today they have made the decision and announced it in a press conference where you can see him desperately trying, don't give the grab, don't give the grab, talk about everything other than what he's actually doing. They have decided that one of the areas where this parliament can put some control on net overseas migration, because let's face it, you don't have control over every lever. Part of it, for example, is Australian citizens. No. Unless you believe that we should control how many Australian citizens come home, is that your view? Do you think we should put a restriction on Australian citizens coming home? Because that feeds into net overseas migration. But apparently you don't know that. Do you think we should put limits on whether Australian citizens are allowed to work overseas? Because that's part of net overseas migration. But the one that we can have an impact on, student visas, you've decided to let it go sky high.
Just going to get the Leader to pause. And we're going to hear from the member for Wannon, who's entitled to raise a point of order under the standing orders.
It goes to relevance. The former Minister for Population, now Minister for Immigration, was asked a very simple question. Is net overseas migration higher or lower than under Kevin Rudd's Big Australia policy? Very simple.
The member for Wannon knows being directly relevant to the question has to be adhered to under the standing orders, and the minister was talking about immigration levels and numbers, so he is being directly relevant. He was talking about another topic. The member for Deakin, you're not helping either. So we're just going to take the temperature down. We're going to listen to the answer. We're going to make sure the minister is being directly relevant to the question he was asked about net migration, and he has the call.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. So, of course, those opposite apparently don't know what the different constituent parts of net overseas migration are. So let me just give one of the easiest stats for them to know.
The member for Hume is really not helping, so I'm going to ask him to cease interjecting in light of the remarks I made earlier today. Let's just get through this answer. The minister has the call.
Thanks so much, Mr Speaker. I do want to get through this answer because they want to compare, and of course Australia over time, net overseas migration has gone up, and so if you take that 2010 benchmark, what year was the highest? When did we hit a record number of visas issued? When did we hit 9.6 million visas issued? The biggest upward pressure you could get on net overseas migration. 2017 to 2018. And who do you think was in charge overseeing issuing each of those 9.6 million visas granted? The Leader of the Opposition now. And so out of full respect to him, out of full respect, that media conference and their decision today was completely true to form. Because while they will run the opposite rhetoric, every time they have had the chance, they have put upward pressure after upward pressure, and this time they've made an announcement that they will vote for more upward pressure, that they will vote to let it rip on however many student visas get issued, however many come in, although I'll say any immigration minister in the future will have a hell of a time trying to catch up with the number of visas issued by that man.